What's going on, guys? Caesar Media here. Today is going to be a long episode for you guys. Look at what's going on with the FD. I have been working on it off the camera. I've done a lot of tedious work and I felt that it wasn't really necessary for me to be filming stuff that's gonna be boring to watch. So I'm just gonna walk you through what I did in the past few weeks. Now, it might not look like much, but I've spent hours and hours and hours prepping the inside of the car. What I'm gonna do today is paint it with lizard skin, which I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later. But essentially what I did here is I first started prepping the chassis by chopping off all the metal brackets and pieces I didn't need. So here there was a bracket coming out, there was a bracket here for the ABS module, I believe. There was a big terminal piece that was hanging off in the back here, another bracket all the way on the right side, and literally brackets, tabs, bolts, nuts everywhere inside the vehicle. What I did was completely cut that off. Another thing I did, and here's my cafe racer, I'm getting ready to take it out. These little circular pieces, these plates, I don't even know what it's for really, but these are popping out. This one, that one, this one down here. So what I had to do was actually weld it back to the chassis by just tack welding it, you know, nothing crazy. I don't really care, to be honest, if this circle pops out in the future, but I wanted to make sure that it's there in place. So I welded that together. Again, the sound deadening was completely removed, and the bolts and nuts and shaved off, like you can see here. So what I did next was use primer to cover all exposed metal, because when I was removing sound deadening using the angle grinder, some bare exposed metal came out, as well as of course when I shaved off the tabs, like you see here, you see exposed metal. So what I did was use primer, engine primer, to kind of cover that up so that it doesn't rust or anything. And then last thing I did was took these painter tapes, rolled them up, and essentially covered up all the threads where the bolts would go back in so that I don't get painting in it. It is very important, especially that you get grounding points covered up, because if you paint over grounding points, the threads and the top part of it, it's not going to be grounded anymore, and that's going to be a big issue when you start putting your harness back in the car. Now, as you can see up top, the headliner has been removed. I wasn't planning on removing it, but as I was looking at it, I was just like, you know what, fuck it, because race car. So here is the headliner that came out of the car. It wasn't too hard to remove, just a bunch of tabs here, the plastic tabs. You see in the modern cars, these are actually metal, so it was very durable as it was coming out, you know, and a bunch of clips that held into the sunroof. These just came off with screw, really simple to use. And the rear bumper also came off, and yes, my license plate says fixed. But you know, just a couple bolts on the left side, right side, and it wasn't too bad to remove. Now onto the equipment that I'm going to be using today to paint the vehicle. I'm using lizard skin. Now for those of you who want to save money, and I might get some comments on this because a lot of you guys are DIY guys, and that's great. If you don't want to waste money, like $200-ish for lizard skin, you can just type in lizard skin alternatives online. There are guys online who are mixing regular paint with these thermal insulators, like tiny particles. If you mix that up with your paint and regular automotive paint, you get essentially what a lizard skin does at a fraction of price. So over here on top, I have ceramic insulation. This is for thermal protection. This reduces the heat transfer within the metal by I forgot how many degrees. I'll probably put a subtitle in the video once I look it up later on. And this here is going to be sound control, so sound barrier. So the heat, of course, with V8 in the car is gonna get a lot hotter than it used to be, and T56 transmission puts out so much heat. So what I'm gonna do is use the ceramic insulation in the floor area, the transmission tunnel, and firewall up front. For the sound, I'm gonna be
essentially coating up the entire car. So if you hear, like here, you know, there's sound resonating, right? Using the chassis. So if you hit rock chips or whatever in the trunk, it's just gonna resonate within the chassis, and the sound barrier is going to essentially stop that from happening. So I know this isn't the best audio quality right now because I don't have the microphone, but you know, just so you get an idea of what it sounds like now, you will get an idea later of the improvement. So what I'm gonna do now is open up this container. Actually, no, let me talk about this coating gun as well. This is just a regular coating gun you can buy anywhere. I bought this on Amazon for like, I think it's like 20 bucks. Now if you want the professional lizard skin undercoating gun, you can get that as well, but it was like $50-$60, and there's no way I would be spending that when I can pick one up for half the price. So let me show you my compressor here. So this is a gun I recently got. It was just this piece, but what I did was I went to, again, my favorite toy store, Harbor Freight, and picked up my own pressure regulator. With this, you can get an idea of how much pressure is coming into the air gun, and you can adjust it as needed. Let me see if this works right now. It should be pressurized, so you can hear it, right, coming out. It's kind of hard to do this as I'm holding the camera, but you can adjust the airflow right here to give you better control. And I believe the instruction is to run this at 50 to 70 psi, but then again, that depends on the moisture in the air and the temperature of the day and stuff like that. Right now it's at 60 psi, but great tool. I highly suggest getting additional air regulator if you're running any kind of spray gun. So guys, I just had to show this to you. Because I don't want to get my lens dirty, what I did was I wrapped my lens with a wrap and used my girlfriend's or my girlfriend's friend's hair tie. Look at that, that's serious engineering right there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and prep my car for painting. Alright, so here is unboxing of lizard skin. Look at that gooey mess. Now what I'm gonna have to do, according to instruction, and yes, I read the instruction for the first time just now, because I don't like foreign instructions. You are supposed to mix it with your regular mixer, which I got from Harbor Freight for the win, and they kind of get mixed up, so everything's good to go. And then pour it into my aero container, which is this right here, which I'm gonna remove, bring it over here, and start spraying. Now, if you're doing thermal protection and sound protection, you want to do the thermal protection after the sound. I have here 2 gallons for sound and 1 gallon for thermal protection. 2 gallons for the entire car and 1 gallon just for the front side of the car. So this, I hope, should be good enough. Alright guys, so the paint is pretty much mixed up. What I'm gonna do is drop it in my container here, and hopefully everything goes as planned. Now you want to make sure you wash this off with water as you go. You don't want this stuff drying up, so you can actually reuse it. And I plan on reusing this for this painting job throughout the day. What I like to do also when I'm not using the big bucket is to put saran wrap on top and just gonna put the tab on top lightly so that it doesn't dry up as I'm working on it. Okay, so the gun's loaded, compressor charged. What I'm gonna do first is just run a test pass here. Probably want more pressure, so hold on. That's what the regulator is for. So guys, as I expected, first pass was just done and this paint was literally getting everywhere and I couldn't really film as I was doing it. But here's what it looks after first pass. Now a lot of parts might look really wet, and that is because I had to increase the paint was basically too thick, so I had to add some water in it to water it down. So you know, some parts might look really wet, some might be really thick. So that's just I guess a learning process for me, but so far so good. It looks like it covered a lot of area. So I'm gonna let it dry up, and I'm gonna let it dry up for longer than what's written in the instructions, because I added water in the paint, and then run the second pass and let it dry after that. Okay guys, so the first pass I did, there was two issues. For one, I wasn't really used to it, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But for two, the pressure regulator that I had on here from Harbor Freight was actually kind of faulty. It wasn't giving enough pressure that I was looking for out of this sprayer, so it wasn't running at its full performance. And now that I got a hang of it, I think I'm gonna film it with one hand as I spray with the other, because it's, to be honest, quite entertaining to watch my RX7 get sprayed. Alright, here we go. And by the way, this stuff really doesn't smell bad, so I have been spraying without a mask or anything. So this is the kind of texture you're looking for up top. This is from my first pass, which was horrible. So here we go. Look at that. If that's not entertaining to watch, I don't know what is. So I decided that while I'm doing this, that I might as well just use the same stuff to reduce the sound in the door panels as well. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of this noise by spraying inside of the door. And this is how you raise the glass because race car. Success. Alright, what's up guys? This is day 2 after I did my sound barrier coating on the lizard skin. Let me just show you how it turned out here. Look at that texture. It's got that wrinkle black like texture. It turned out to be gray more than anything. On the website it says black, but this is definitely gray. As you can see, parts of it hasn't dried up completely yet, but that's fine. I'm not sure if you can hear the sound difference, but it definitely got rid of that lightweight metal noise. It sounds a lot more heavier, and I feel like I'm gonna really feel this as I start driving around. And again, on the doors, I did the same thing, right? And listen to that. That makes a huge difference. It does not feel like a lightweight sheet metal on the door anymore as well. I'm gonna let it sit here for another 24 hours, then apply the thermal barrier so that the heat transfer can be minimized. I'm just gonna do it on the transmission tunnel, firewall, and probably the seat area here. Now, before I let you guys go, I wanna do another giveaway real quick. I haven't done this in a while. And this is a sound deadening that came out of the FD. Pretty heavy. Over here is the wiring that I took off, which is almost as heavy as a sound deadening. And this pretty much includes ABS, airbag module, and everything that came out of the car. It is completely packed in there and it's quite heavy. So I want you guys to guess how much both of these weigh combined, and whoever gets close to the answer will be winning Project Mu brake reservoir cover. Let me just show you how this works. I think I still have that, yeah. So this just kind of pops in here to protect your brake reservoir and gives you that fancy look. I'm running Project Mu brakes on my Evo, and I have this reservoir cover on the Evo. As you have seen in my Tokyo Auto Salon videos, I visited a Project Mu booth and these were half price off, so I just grabbed a bunch to give away to my awesome subscribers. And thanks again for being my fans and subscribers, guys. I wouldn't be here filming these if it wasn't for your support, really. Just my way of saying thanks to my viewers. So here we go. I'm gonna put this. Oh my god, that is heavy. All right.